Hello everyone, this is from team Ctrl+Alt+Win. We were tasked with creating a multi-agent orchestration system to plan travel from one place to another. So as for a multi-agent orchestration system, there are multiple agents working here in sync and in parallel with each other. Let me just start the front end and back end. Okay, so we have our orchestrator agent, which basically gets the prompt that the user gives it. It decides all of the things like destination, origin, travel dates, budget range, and query, etc. And weather data, events, maps, etc. And so there is the budget agent, which calculates the budget of all the things. Then there is event agent, which uses the open router API key for getting all the events of destination. There is then Maps agent, which gets its data from open source maps and it calculates the distance. And it also tells us about the trains, the flights, and the distance, like driving distance. It also can give us directions if we wanted to, and it also tells us the best mode of operation, and it can also give us some estimate of the budget. And then there is the weather agent. The weather agent is named Skygazer, and what it does is it gets the weather of the air of the place. Like if we want to travel from 13 to 15, then it will get the weather of 13, 14, 15, and it will tell the maximum and minimum temperature of each day along with the conditions of the sky like cloudy, etc., and the air quality. That's and so it is now started. So let me just show you the docs. So this is the docs of Swagger. I can just do this to show you. Let me just make it more. That I've given. So the thing is that the orchestration system is made in such a way that it gives out this result as a WebSocket. So we would have to connect to a WebSocket to get the result. This is done so that the user doesn't have to wait. This is done so that the user doesn't have to wait to get any results. Like if we have done like normal REST API, then it would have taken like 30-40 seconds for some response, which is bad for user experience. This is, and we have the chat page. Basically, we can see the API structure and everything here. And just okay. So if I give the same prompt here, what it will do is that the workflow started analyzing, and then each agent is now working in parallel. So the agent that gives the results, and then these results are just on front coming on front, right? So we have the weather forecast, the high temperature, low temperature, AQI, pivot, moderate, some events from Agra. These are some events, and then this is the itinerary that he has produced. Itinerary agent has produced for us. We can see the temperature here, what to do at what time, where to eat, what to eat, all the transport info, which train to use, this, and then some tips. And we can see the budget. We can see the budget summary, budget everything, that how much, how the budget will be spent, and money saving tips. And then we have the route information from traveling. Then we have the alternate options like cycling and driving, etc. I didn't specifically ask for trains, so it didn't give me a train. If I had asked, then it would have given me the information about trains or that. So this is how this works. And on top of this, my server works as a MCP server, and I have a client to consume it. I have made a very um, optimal and modern code to use all the things that are in backend with cache, logging, matrix of all the things like request, total, hash, cat image, miss, misses models, rate limiters, the main build rate limiter inside the client itself, the REST client, the session management, the WebSocket client, and I put a test file to check all the things such as materials. So we have these, and this is like listening to the WebSocket. So I have created a very documentation about it, and I have also released it on Python as pip TBD. So anyone can just go and download it and try use it with my API key, and that API key can be generated through my website. Okay, and then I have the installation guide here. I have some examples, and I have a whole recipe code book, like what are its total scope of planning, what it can do, and everything, and all of that. So I have this client that can consume that. And if I just show you my API keys thing. Well, currently I do not have control over each API, but I have just I can do that. I have put 1 day limit on each API. I have created a admin API which is required to create all other API, and admin API has a longer limit and longer time to live. Let's just give it any name, any description. So key details are 10 requests per second, read and write, expiration. These are given by me, but these can be changed by the person if he wants to. Then we will generate, and the API key is generated as we can see. Name created at, they will be shown only once, etc. We can just post like this, and then we can go back and we can verify the API key status. Okay, so we have all the information about it. Rate limit, the time remaining 18 hours and 29 minutes, etc. Total request 1, and if I just click it again, then total request 2. So the orchestrator agent inside uses LangChain to make the workflows, and sorry, LangGraph to make the workflows, and LangChain and Redis for all of the management. And I have used Docker. Each of the agent works in its separate Docker, so that none of the agent can pollute anything, and all of them communicate to each other using Redis PubSub model. This Redis PubSub model, which I have created, and all these are service and tools that these agents can use. These are the workers, and that's it for TBD. Thank you.